a very special story. Chapter 1, Help from a Rich Man. Many years ago, in a city in Arabia, there was a boy called Aladdin. He lived with his mother in a little house near the market, and they were very poor. Aladdin's mother worked all day and sometimes half the night, but Aladdin never helped her. He was a lazy boy and he did not like to work. He only wanted to play all the time. Every morning he ran through the streets to the market. There he talked and laughed and played with his friends all day. Then in the evening he went home for his dinner. And every night his mother said to him, "Oh, Aladdin, Aladdin, you are a lazy boy, a good for nothing. When are you going to do some work, my son?" Oh. But Aladdin never listened to his mother. One day in the market, there was an old man in a long black coat. Aladdin did not see him, but the old man watched Aladdin very carefully. After some minutes, he went up to an orange seller and asked, "The boy in the green coat, who is him?" Aladdin, son of Mustafa, was the answer. The old man moved away. "Yes," he said quietly. "Yes, there is the boy, the right name, and the right father." Then he called out to Aladdin, "Boy, come here for a minute. Is your name Aladdin?" "Aladdin, son of Mustafa." "Is you?" Aladdin left his friends and came to the old man. "Yes," he said, "I am Aladdin, son of Mustafa, but my father is dead. He died 5 years ago." "Dead?" said the old man. "Oh, no." He put his face in his hands and began to cry. "No, no." "Why are you crying?" asked Aladdin. "Do you know my father?" The old man looked up. Mustafa was my brother," he said. "I went to see him again, and now you tell me he is dead. Oh, this is not a very happy day for me." Then he put his hand on Aladdin's arm. "But there is not my brother's son, and I can see Mustafa in your face. My boy, Aladdin, I am your uncle, Abenazar." "My uncle?" said Aladdin. He was very surprised. "Did my father have a brother? I didn't know that." "I went away before you were born, my boy," said the old man. "Look," he took 10 pieces of gold out of his bag and put them into Aladdin's hands. "Go home to your mother and give this money to her. Tell her about me and say this: her husband's brother wants to meet her and he's going to visit her tomorrow." 10 pieces of gold is a lot of money, and Aladdin was very happy. He ran home quite quickly and gave the gold to his mother. At first, she was afraid. Where did you get this, Aladdin? Did you find it? Is it our money? You must give it back. But is it our money, mother? Said Aladdin. My uncle's brother, give the money to us. Uncle Benazar is coming to visit our tomorrow. Who? You don't have an uncle, Benara? But he knows my name and my father's name, Aladdin said. And he gave 10 pieces of gold to me. He's very nice. He must make a good dinner for him. You. The next day, Benara arrived at Aladdin's house. My sister, he said, and smiled. My dead brother's wife. I am happy to find you and Aladdin. Sit down, Benara. We are happy to see you in our poor home. Aladdin's mother said. He put meat, rice, and fruit on the table. But I don't understand why did my husband never speak about you. I'm sorry, mister, my sister. When we were young, my brother and I were not friends for many years. Not good relationship. Then I went away to a far country. I am an old man now and want to see my brother again and take his hand. But he is dead, and I cannot speak to him or say goodbye to him now. Benzara had tears in his eyes, and Aladdin's mother began to cry too. But I am home again now, the old man said. And I can help my brother's wife and his son, because I am a rich man. Really? He looked at Aladdin. My boy, what work do you do? Aladdin did not answer, and his face was red. Oh, don't ask Aladdin questions about work, his mother said. He never works. He plays with his friends all day and only comes home when he is hungry. Well, my boy, tomorrow we must get a new coat for you. Then we can talk about work. Would you like to have a shop in the market? Perhaps. Aladdin smiled. A shop, he thought, and me, a rich market seller. Why not? It's a good idea. Chapter 2. A walk to nowhere. Early the next morning, Benzara arrived at Aladdin's house, and then he and Aladdin walked to the market. First of all, we must look at clothes, Benara said. Soon, Aladdin had an expensive new coat, and he left felt very happy. And together both walked through the market and looked at the shops. They drank coffee, talked to people, and had a very good dinner. It was a wonderful day for Aladdin. On Friday, when the market was closed, Benara took Aladdin to the beautiful gardens in the city. They walked under the trees and talked about a shop for Aladdin. "You are very good to me, uncle," Aladdin said. Benara smiled. "But of course," he said, "you are my half brother's son. Now let us leave the city and go up into the hills. There is something wonderful there, and you must see it." I don't know why. Palace, beautiful palace. They left the garden, walked past the palace, and out of the city up in the hills. They walked for a long time, and Aladdin began to feel tired. "It's not far now," said Benara. Azar. We are going to see a beautiful garden, more beautiful than the garden of the Sultan's palace. At last, Benara stopped. "Here we are," he said. Aladdin looked, but he could see no gardens on the hills. Where is the garden, uncle?" he said. "First we must make a fire," said Benara. Aladdin did not understand, but he made a fire for his uncle on the ground, took some powder out of a small box, and put it on the fire. Powder! He closed his eyes and said, "Abacadabra, Dabara." At once, the sky went dark. Blank smoke came from the fire, and the ground under the fire began to open. Whoa! Then the smoke went away, and in the ground there was now a good white stone with a rain in it. Dun, 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 dun. Aladdin was very afraid. He began to run away, but Benara took his arm and hit him on the head. "Hey, why you hit me?" For a minute or two, Aladdin could not speak for more. Then he cried, "Why did you do that, uncle? You must be a man now, not a child, not a child. I'm your father's brother, and you must obey me. Obey me. Don't be afraid. In a short time, you are going to be a rich man. Now, listen carefully." He took Aladdin's hand. "Only you can move the stone. Put your hand on the rain and say your name and your father's name." "Why I need to do that? I don't want to do." Very afraid, Aladdin put his hand on the rain. It was not hot, but very cold. "I am Aladdin, son of Mustafa," he said. The stone moved easily, and now Aladdin could see stars under the ground. "And go down those stars," Benara said, "and then through 4 big rooms. In the last room, there is a door in a garden, and under one of the trees, there is a lamp. Lamp! You can take some fruit from the trees. But first you must find the lamp. Bring the lamp to me. Please come with me, Uncle, Aladdin said. No, only you can do this, my boy. I'm so afraid. Benara took a gold ring off her finger and gave it to Aladdin. The ring is magic and can protect you, he said. Be careful and bring me the lamp quickly. Aladdin put the ring on the little finger of his left hand and began to go down the stairs. It was dark and he was afraid, but he was more afraid of Benara. And Aladdin was right to be afraid, because Abenara was not his uncle. Let me see how can pronounce the person's name. Let me check it again. Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Aladdin, not Aladdin. Aladdin. Okay, I will correct my pronunciation. Try again. I forgot immediately.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Okay, Aladdin. Okay, no problem. Aladdin. He was a magician from Morocco, and he wanted his lamp very much. Aladdin. It was a magic lamp, and only a poor boy from the city could get it from him. A boy called Aladdin. Aladdin went down 100 stairs and into the first room. Down here, it was not dark, and he went quite quickly through the rooms to the door into the garden. There were trees in the garden with the beautiful fruit of different colors: white, red, green, and yellow. There were trees. He soon found the lamp under one of the trees. Why does my uncle want the dark, dirty, old lamp? He put it in his pocket. Then he began to take fruit from the trees and to put in every pocket of his coat. After that, he went back to the stairs and began to go up. Soon he could see a Benara and the blue sky. Give the lamp to me, Benara said, and put out his hand. Quickly, boy, the lamp. Aladdin could not get the lamp out of his pocket because he looked at Benara's angry face and was afraid. First, help me out, then you can have the lamp, he said. Please, uncle, help me. First the lamp, cried Benara. Give me the lamp. No, Aladdin said. You good for nothing, like your mother said. You dog, you and the lamp can stay down there. Angrily, Benara ran to the fire and put more powder on it. Abracadabra, he called. The big white stone moved again, and now Aladdin, I forget again. Just immediately.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Bad remembering. Chapter 3: The Rain and the Lamp. Aladdin. Uncle Benara, Uncle Aladdin, Aladdin hit the stone, but nothing moved. Don't leave me here, please. Aladdin put his ear to the stone, but he could hear nothing. I am Aladdin, son of Mustafa, he said, and listened again. But the stone did not move. Then Aladdin began to cry. What am I going to do? He thought, and put his head in his hands. After a time, he began to feel hungry and took some of the fruit out of his pocket. He put some in his mouth, but he could not eat them. They were stones, not fruit. He thought, I'm going to die down here. For 3 days and 3 nights, Aladdin sat on the stairs and waited, but no help. And the third day he remembered. He ran on his finger, and the rain is protect him. How can protect him? He could not see the rain in the dark, so he put his hand on it. Woo! There was a sudden noise, and the blue smoke came out of the rain. And then out of the smoke came a big genie. Genie, I'm here, master. Master, I'm here. A person cried. How can I pronounce? I don't know. I'm the slave of the rain. What's your wish? Wish. Aladdin. At first, he could not speak, and then he said, "Take me out of there. Take out of here." To hear is to obey, the person said, and a second later, Aladdin was back on his heels under the black sky. There was nobody here. The fire was cold and black. Happily, Aladdin began to walk home. When he got there, his mother was very happy to see him. Oh, Aladdin, he cried. What happened to you? And where is your uncle? Uncle? No, he's not my uncle, mother. He is a magician and a bad man. He nearly killed me. Really? Then Aladdin told his mother all about the fire, the magic stone, and the garden underground. Oh, I'm very tired, mother, he said. I must sleep. Aladdin closed his eyes and slept for many hours. The next morning he opened his eyes and said, Mother, I am hungry. Anything I can eat? My son, I'm sorry, he said. We have no rice or meat in the house. We have nothing and no money. I must sell your new coat and get some rice with the money. Then Aladdin remembered the lamp from the garden. Wait a minute, mother, he said. Take his lamp and sell that first. That dirty old thing, Aladdin's mother said. I must clean it first. He began to rub it and noise, fire, and the red smoke came from the lamp, and out of the smoke came a very big person. Oh, like my finger person. Magician, I'm the slave of the lamp, cried the genie. How can I pronounce? Genie.
Aladdin.
Immediately forget.
Genie.
Yes, Genie, right. I'm the state of a lamp. What's your wish? Mysteries, mysteries. Aladdin's mother was afraid and could not speak. But Aladdin, bring rice and meat to us. We are hungry. The genie went away and came back in a second with the rice, meat, bread, and fruit on the 12 golden plates. The genie went away. He put the plates in the front of them and went away. Aladdin and his mothers ate and ate. Then Aladdin, why I always forgot how to pronounce the person names. I'm so angry.
Aladdin.
Aladdin, not Aladdin, Aladdin. Then Aladdin took one of the plates. Aladdin. Every day after that, Aladdin rubbed the lamp. And when the genie came, Aladdin said, "Bring us rice and meat." And every day he sold the gold plates. Soon, Aladdin and his mothers were rich. Aladdin. Chapter 4. Aladdin's Love. He loved some person. 5 years later, Aladdin had a shop in the market, and 3 market sellers worked for him. The sellers liked Aladdin because he was good. The market children liked Aladdin too because he gave them money when he walked past. Every boy liked Aladdin. Aladdin's mother never called her son a good-for-nothing now. He had a nice house near the gardens, and he had many beautiful things. But only Aladdin and his mothers knew about the magic lamp and the genie. One day, Aladdin heard a noise in the street and stopped to listen. The daughter is coming. The person, Sultan, the princess, is coming. 6 slaves carried the princess through the streets in a litter, and the people stopped to watch. Princess, princess. Hey, they called. Aladdin watched when his litter came past him, and he saw the princess's face. He was beautiful, with the big dark eyes, the beautiful woman in the Arabia. The laughter went past Aladdin, but for some minutes he did not move. Then he ran home, tell his mother, Mother, I saw the Sultan's daughter, Princess Bob, I don't know how can pronounce, in the street. Aladdin's face was white. I must have the princess for my wife. But Aladdin, his mother began, Aladdin. No, I forgot immediately.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. I love the princess. I went to marry her, Aladdin. No buts. Go the Sultan and ask for me. Me? Go to the palace? No, not at all. Aladdin's mother said, No, I don't want to do that. Listen, my son, the daughters of the Sultan do not marry poor boys from the city. Listen, but we are not poor now. Mother, remember, and we can give the Sultan something for his daughter. Wait, I think something I can give her. Aladdin went away and got the fruit from the magic garden under the ground. Now, of course, he knew it was not fruit, not white, red, green, and yellow jewels. Take these jewels, mother, on a gold plate, he said, and give them to the Sultan. So the next day, Aladdin's mother carried a gold plate with many beautiful jewels on it to the Sultan's palace. He went into the long room, but when he saw the Sultan, his vizier, and all his slaves, he was very afraid. So she waited quietly in the room and spoke to nobody. In the evening, he went back home again with the jewels. Aladdin was very angry with her. Mother, you must speak to Sultan, he said. I have no father to do this for me. You must help me. I must marry the princess. I love her. So the next day, and for many days after that, Aladdin's mother, Aladdin, In the end, the Sultan saw her and asked him, Aladdin, who is the woman? Why does she come to the palace every day? The person spoke to Aladdin's mother. Do you want to speak to the Sultan? Yes, come with me. I'm not really sure how I can pronounce the word. The person took Aladdin's mother to the Sultan, I don't know, and she put her head on the ground at he. Give up, woman. Why do you come here every day? The Sultan asked. Sultan. Sultan.
Sultan,
yeah, Sultan, no problem. Sultan. So problem. Okay, Sultan. Sultan asked. Speak, woman, your majesty. Aladdin's mother said quietly. How can I say? I have a son, a good young man, and he is single. He is called Aladdin. He loves your daughter, princess. He cannot speak or eat because of her. He wants to marry her. Ha 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 ha! The Sultan laughed. What? Marry my daughter, your son? Who? Who's the name? Who's the boy? Your Majesty, their jewels are for you, from my son Aladdin. And Aladdin's mother put the gold plate with her jewels in front of the Sultan's feet. Every boy looked at the jewels, and the long room was suddenly very quiet. Then the Sultan spoke. There was very careful jewels, he said. Beautiful jewels. Though no man in Arabia had jewels more wonderful than this. Your son is a rich man, a good husband for my daughter. Just for money. The person did not like to hear that because he wanted the princess to marry his son. Your Majesty, he said quietly in the Sultan's ear. My son is a rich man too. Give him 3 months, and he can find better jewels than this. Very well, said the Sultan. And to Aladdin's mother he said, your son must wait for 3 months, and then perhaps he can marry my daughter. Aladdin's mother went home to tell Aladdin, and the person went away. And every day for 2 months, the person soon came to the Sultan and gave him gold and the jewels and the many beautiful things. For 2 months, Aladdin waited happily, but one day his mother came home from. The princess is going to marry the person's son. Aladdin. I heard it in the market. Every boy talking about it. When Aladdin heard this, he was very unhappy. How can I do? He thought. He put his head in his hands and threw for a long time. And when the night came, he took out a magic lamp and rubbed it. What is your wish, master? Said the genie of the lamp. Bring princess to me, said Aladdin. Bring her to me. To hear is to obey. In a second, the genie was back with the princess sleeping in his arms. He put her carefully on a bed, and then the princess opened her eyes and saw Aladdin. Who are you? She asked, afraid. Aladdin took her hand and looked into her eyes. My name is Aladdin, and I so love you, he answered. I cannot live without you, and I want to marry you. I'm so love you. She saw the love in his eyes and smiled. She closed her eyes again. Then the genie carried her back to the Sultan's palace. The next morning, she remembered Aladdin's eyes. There is no love in the eyes of the person's son, he thought. He thinks only of gold and the jewels. So the princess went to her father. I do not want to marry the person's son, he said. She said, I want Aladdin for my husband. The Sultan was very surprised. What can we do? He said to him. Vizier, my daughter wants to marry this man, Aladdin. I even heard that. He is a rich man. Is it true? But who is he? I never heard about it story. Ask him. For more of those beautiful jewels on 40 gold plates and 40 slave girls with 40 slaves. Nobody is that rich. Very good, smiled the Sultan and said to his slaves, bring Aladdin's mother to me. When Aladdin's mother arrived, the Sultan said, so your son wants to marry my daughter. The first offer he must give me 40 gold plates with the jewels. 40 slave girls with the 40 slaves must carry the plates to me. If you're ready, took him there. Then my daughter can be his wife. Aladdin's mother went home and told her son, and Aladdin smiles. This is easy for the genie of lamps, of course. And the next day, I want to do something. Aladdin went to the palace. First come 40 slave girls on the dresses of gold, and every girl carried a gold plate with the wonderful jewels on it. After them walked 40 slaves in the coats of gold. And that can Aladdin, I forgot again. Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. What do you say now? The Sultan said quietly to the person when he saw all those wonderful things. Aladdin must marry my daughter. Why can I say no? The Sultan went to Aladdin and shook his hands. My son, he said, you can marry my daughter tonight. Tomorrow, your majesty, said Aladdin, because before I marry your daughter, she must have a palace, the most beautiful palace in Abra. The genie of the lamp worked all night. And the next morning, the Sultan saw from his window a beautiful new palace with the gardens of fruit trees and the flowers. Wonderful, she said. Black magic, said the person quietly. No, it's possible. The night Aladdin married the princess, and then lived happily in the new palace. New lamps for good old. Where was Abenara all this time? When he could not get the lamp from Aladdin, he went home to the place. He was very angry with Aladdin. But the boy is dead now, he thought. And perhaps next year I can go back and get the lamp. One day he got out 7 black stones. These stones were magic, and when he put them in the water could tell him many things. Soon he could see the magic lamp in the water, but it was not under the white stone in the Arabia. It was a palace. How did this happen? Said a person. I must go back to Arabia and find this palace. After some months, he arrived again in the city. Soon he saw the new palace and asked a man in the streets, who lives there? There's Aladdin's palace, was the answer. Princess, husband, a good man and very rich. The person said nothing and walked away. There, lazy, good-for-nothing boy, he thought angrily. So he has the magic lamp, and he knows about the genie. How can I get the lamp back? For the next week, the person watched Aladdin's palace. One day, Aladdin and his friends left the palace to go hunting in the hills. Good, the person thought. Now I can get the lamp back. After Aladdin left, Princess went into the palace gardens. She sat under a tree and looked at the flowers. Then he heard a noise in the street and called her slave girl. "What's the matter? Who's making the noise?" he asked. "Go and look in the street." He had a smile on her face. "Mistress, the children in the street are laughing at the old man." "Why, he's selling lamps, but not for money. New lamps for good. Oh," he cries. "Give me an old lamp and you can have a new lamp." So every boys give new lamps. He laughed. "Do we have an old lamp for him?" "Yes, my husband's old lamp. Go and get it." The princess knew nothing about the lamp or its magic. He went into the palace and came back with the lamps. Aladdin, here he is," he said. "Go and get it to the old man." "How long?" A nice new lamp. He went out into the streets with a lamp. "New lamps for old," the old man called, and the children behind him laughed and called. "New lamps for old. Do you want to change your old lamps? Come here. Let me show you." The old man, it was the person, of course, saw the lamps of the hand, her hands, because of a picture in the water of his magic stones. He took the old lamp, gave a new lamp to her, and then quickly walked away. He walked out of the city into the hills. Then he took it out of the lamp and rubbed it. At once, the genies of the lamp came to him. "I'm here, master," he said. "What's your wish?" Sorry? What? I always forgot how can pronounce.
Aladdin.
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 Aladdin. Aladdin. At once, Aladdin. "The Sultan can kill Aladdin for me. Aladdin for me. To hear is to obey." In a second, Abenara, the palace, the gardens, and the princess were in Morocco. And in front of Sultan's palace, there was now only a little red smoke. Chapter 6. Day and back again. In this evening, Aladdin and his friends finished hunting and began to go home. Suddenly a friend said, "Aladdin, look, the Sultan's men are coming with the swords in their hands. What do they want?" "I don't know," Aladdin answered. When the Sultan's men arrived, They said, Aladdin, we must take you to the Sultan. He is very angry. We don't know why. Aladdin asked, but the man could not tell him. In his palace, the Sultan took Aladdin to a window. Where is your palace? He cried angrily. And where is my daughter? Answer me. I don't know. Aladdin looked out of the window. There was only the garden and the sky. No place, no palace, no gardens, nothing at all. He closed his eyes, opened them, and looked again, and he had no answer to the Sultan. How can I say? It's black magic. I always said that. The person said quietly in the Sultan's ear. That's black magic. Your Majesty. Aladdin, kill me now. I don't want to live without. Aladdin. Let me check again. Aladdin.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. I hear and obey. Aladdin, but without his magic lamp. What could Aladdin do? He went out from the city and looked for his wife and his palace, but of course he did not find them. Why? After 37 days, he sat by a river and cried, How can I do? My love, oh, where are you? Where can I look now? No idea where I can find you. He put his hands into the water of a river, and then he saw the magician's ring on his little finger. Oh, yes, he began to rub it. Out of the blue smoke came the genie of the rain. What's your wish, master? He asked. Find my wife and bring her back to me, answered Aladdin. Please. Master, I cannot do that. The genie of the lamp took the princess away, and only the genie of the lamp can bring her back. I can do nothing, but I can take you to her. Take me then, quickly. Do everything you can do. To hear is to obey. It is many, many miles from the place, but Aladdin, there was his palace. Aladdin. Yes, Aladdin looked up at the windows. Aladdin. He cried, Are you there? Aladdin. In the palace, the princess heard him. Is that Aladdin? He thought, but he is far away. She went to the window, opened it, and looked out. Aladdin, he cried, It's you. Yes, my love, for the first time in many days. Aladdin smiled. Come up quickly, the princess called. The magician is not here now. His slave girl ran down and opened a little door into the gardens. Aladdin ran up to the princess' rooms, and in a second she was in his arms. Oh, my love, the princess said. A bad man carried me here, a magician, His name is Abenara, and I'm going to kill him, said Aladdin. Aladdin, tell me, does he have my old lamp? Yes, the princess said. He always carries it with him. I know about its magic now because he told me. Oh, why did I give it away? Listen, my love, I don't care about that. I'm going to give you some sleeping powder. When he comes here again, you must give him a drink and put the powder in it. When he is asleep, I can kill him. Don't be afraid. I'm going to take you home very soon. Now for some good magic. He began to rub his rein. What's your wish, master? Said the genie of the ring. Bring me some sleeping powder, said Aladdin. Aladdin, to hear is to obey. In a second, the genie was back with some sleeping powder. Then Aladdin and the princess waited for the person. In the evening, they heard him on the stairs. Don't be afraid, Aladdin said quietly to her wife. I'm in the next room and can be with you in a second. He went quietly into the next room and stood behind the door. The person opened the door and the princess' room and came in. He smiled. You are more beautiful every day, princess, he said. Your husband, that good for nothing, Aladdin, is dead now. You must marry me. You can have gold, jewels, palace, anything. It's just for you. But you must be my wife. For the first time, the princess smiled at Abenara. Why not? He said. You are a rich man, and I am happy here. Yes, let's drink to that. And she gave him a tall gold cup with the drink. Let us drink from the cup, she said, and smiled at him. You first. That me, in my country, new husbands and wives always do this. You need to do first. Okay, the princess, the most beautiful woman in the place, he said happily, and my wife. And she is my wife. He took into the princess's eyes and began to drink. Very afraid, the princess watched him, but it was a good sleeping powder, and after 5 seconds, the person's eyes closed and he was asleep. The princess ran to the door of the next room. Quickly, Aladdin ran in with his sword and saw the sleeping magician. Well done, my love, he said. Now, go into the next room and do not watch. The person ran to the next room and closed the door. Aladdin put his hand in the person's pocket and took it out of the lamp. He put it carefully into the pocket of his coat and then stood up. The sword did its work quietly, never opened his eyes again. The princess came back into the room and ran to Aladdin. He took her in his arms. The magician is dead, he said, and now we can go home. He began to rub the lamp. Again, fire and red smoke came from the lamp. The princess watched afraid. I'm here, master, said the genie of the lamp. I come back. What's your wish? Carry the palace, the princess, and me back to our city. But leave that dog, the person, stay here. When the Sultan looked out of his window and saw Aladdin's palace again, he was a happy man, and when he took his daughter in his arms, he was the happiest man in Arabia. From that day, Aladdin, and the princess lived happily in their palace. They lived for many years and had many children, but Aladdin always carried the magic lamp with him, day and night. Thank you for watching. In the end, I want to tell you, practice your listening is very important, so stay with me. I will show you if I have time. Goodbye. See you next time.